Is it ridiculousness or is it racist?
It's racist.
See, I don't think
It's both.
See, I don't see.
It looks like there was a heated argument between Rosie O'Donnell and Whoopie Goldberg during a live event. Is it ridiculous or is it racist? It is racist. When asked about their present relationship, Whoopie is known to get very passionate when talking about topics relating to race. According to Rosie, you like to keep those people in a place of reverence if you can, which is exactly what I'm striving to do right now with Whoopie. When asked if she would ever meet again, on or off the show, Whoopie responded in this way. Whoopie seems to be extremely upset, claiming that Rosie has effectively ended her career amid rumors that Goldberg might be leaving the show. Interestingly, it was Rosie who eventually left the show due to her conflict with Whoopie, and that's when she began revealing some unflattering truths about Whoopie in the process. Well, yeah, we actually ran into each other in person at the Megan Mullally Show and Cafe Carlisle. Rosie might appear as a guest. This is simple. Despite the fact that Rosie O'Donnell has a lot more to say about Whoopie, let's delve into the details and find out what's really going on between the two in the dynamic world of daytime talk shows, where discussions and commentary frequently take center stage. Rosie O'Donnell's recent revelations have sent shockwaves through what appeared to be a tranquil landscape. Her appearance on the Brooke Shields podcast was anything but ordinary. It was an unfiltered expose that revealed the turbulent undercurrent of her tenure on the venerable show The View. In 2006, Rosie O'Donnell, a well-known and outspoken figure in the entertainment industry, opened up about her experiences from her days hosting daytime talk shows. The most fascinating parts of Rosie's story were about her interactions with the legendary Whoopi Goldberg, but her memories also hinted at a discord within the show's dynamics, with subtle references to Elizabeth Hasselbeck, a significant figure in the backstage drama beneath the surface. This puppet master was none other than the late Bill Getty, a white male producer who seemed to be steering the show away from women's voices and towards his own vision. She was assigned to be his mystery guest and was tall, like 6 feet tall and larger than average. The current host of the show revealed that conflicts with Elizabeth Hasselbeck were the reason behind Rosie's original exit from The View as her story developed. Rosie, although I found reading those things disturbing and offensive, Whoopi Goldberg emerged as a major source of tension after her return. These conflicts weren't your typical talk show disagreements. Instead, they centered around some of the most divisive and contentious issues of the day. Rosie peeled back the layers of these arguments to reveal an explosive collision of worlds between herself and Whoopi, with their disagreements centered around delicate and hugely influential issues. What's wrong? You're crazy. Rosie O'Donnell recently shared her experience as a co-host on The View, calling it a difficult experience and indicating her hesitation to return to the show. I was just moving my chairs are racist too. In retrospect, Rosie has revealed that her reluctance to return is due to her encounters with certain people on the set who made it difficult to accomplish the show's intended purpose. Rosie says, "I almost died. I don't want you to die. Watch it will." It's easy to figure out who she's talking about because it's obvious that someone was using their influence to steer the show in alignment with their own perspective. Rosie also recounts a heated debate she had with Whoopi Goldberg during that time. Rosie believed that being a part of a show where she had to constantly defend and argue for fundamental human rights and kindness prevented her from fully showcasing her talents. This situation is similar to other cases in which people have accused Whoopi of acting cruelly and aggressively during the show. Our introductory remarks, which focused on how awful it is that Donald Trump, colleagues have previously voiced concerns about her behavior and frequent outbursts while speaking on the radio. It's true that she is aware of what I'm talking about. That's the problem. Come on, she knows too. Rosie claimed that her interactions with Goldberg on The View were some of the worst she has ever had on live television. This was mainly because Whoopi seemed determined to undermine the purpose of the show. By limiting the conversation to subjects that suited her preferences, Whoopi frequently ignored significant and contentious issues. Rosie also observed that when Whoopi ran out of good reasons, she would turn the discussion into a drama about herself. "You're a white woman telling me what's racist to you. I want homophobia." It was very difficult for Rosie to participate in conversations about the interesting and divisive subjects that captured her attention. Eventually, this tension reached a breaking point, resulting in a heated argument between Rosie and Whoopi during a commercial break. The argument seemed to start when Whoopi interrupted Rosie's discussion about the subject of spanking and demanded a commercial break. When Whoopi abruptly interrupted Rosie, she felt disrespected and upset. Rosie confronted Whoopi about the interruption, but Goldberg chose to respond by angrily attacking her co-host during an interview. Rosie was taken aback because she was not carrying an earpiece that would have allowed the producers to guide her. Rosie remarked that it hurt me a lot to feel how much she disliked me. It's accurate to say that before my arrival, she wasn't all that interested in The View. She would just sit there and not speak when there were other guests. This was true even when her co-host lost her cool. The relationship between Rosie and Whoopi behind the scenes of The View had been tense from the beginning of the season. Sources have indicated that O'Donnell was uncomfortable with being directed on what to say or how to conduct herself. Rosie made the conscious decision to uphold her professionalism after the heated exchange. She calmly returned to her seat at the table and continued with the show as if nothing had happened. Rosie said, "I didn't think there would be any kind of competition. I don't have a real competitive side with other women. I want to support other women. I want to try to help other women, so it got off to the wrong foot." Furthermore, it has surfaced that Goldberg has requested that ABC end her agreement with the network and give her the remaining $10 million so she can leave the show. This choice is thought to have been impacted by her distaste for collaborating with people, such as Rosie, because of her cruel actions. Public criticism of Whoopi has been mixed. Some have written, "I'm actually shocked I've never heard of this book before, and I'm definitely a Rosie fan, so I'm starting to understand so much more now." Others have said, "I think in Rosie's case, she has something that a lot of people, myself included, have and are currently dealing with. And that's unhealed trauma, the things that she went through during her 2 stints as a co-hostess on The View from that explosive on-air fight with Elizabeth Hasselbeck, which led to her walking off permanently to those fiery verbal exchanges she had with Whoopi. Public pressure is mounting for Whoopi to leave the show, and because Rosie has clearly not recovered from them, I'm all for discussing it out loud if it would aid in her healing. However, the story takes an unexpected turn when it seems that Whoopi's strong dislike for Rosie was so profound that it even led to one of her close friends, Ellen DeGeneres, developing prejudice against Rosie. Rosie is being commended for her courage in speaking out and exposing her colleague's true character. This unexpected feud between Rosie and Ellen has surprised a lot of people. In a recent interview, Rosie O'Donnell discussed her confrontation with Ellen, which happened several years ago. She talked about the one strong bond she had with Ellen DeGeneres and how their relationship deteriorated after that. She partially attributed this to Whoopi. What had once been a strong friendship marked by mutual support, both on and off screen, eventually broke down. This occurred because Ellen's actions harmed Rosie's feelings, which made Ellen withdraw out of fear. It seems that once Ellen came clean about her gender preference, she was worried that people would assume she was having a romantic relationship with Rosie as a preventative precaution. According to Rosie's revelation, Ellen openly declared that she didn't know Rosie, saying, I don't know, Rosie. We're not friends. It hurt my feelings like a baby, and I never really got over it. Rosie's request to be a guest on Ellen DeGeneres' show was continually denied by Ellen's producers, since Ellen had been purposefully putting herself out of her reach for decades. That's all for now, everyone. Until next time, goodbye. Rosie believes that Ellen and Whoopie may have talked about her character because of their friendship, which may help to explain why Whoopie treated Rosie so rudely and unkindly. These revelations are undoubtedly ruining Whoopie's career because there are rumors that she is leaving the show.